Alrighty. Let's see. Good. All right. So, welcome once again to this consciousness ascending experience. I hope everybody had if you celebrate the holiday of Thanksgiving, I hope everybody had a fantastic holiday celebration wherever you were, however you were, with who you were with. Thanksgiving, gratitude, Thanksgiving, gratitude, appreciation. These are states of being that you can be in, that you can choose to be in at any given moment. You can access at any given moment. It doesn't have to be restricted to a certain time of year, a certain day that has been designated by someone, something, organization, society, tradition outside of you. It's just states of being that you can access and understand that the frequencies, the tones, the colors that you offer show up to you as experience. As a matter of fact, it's not sometime down the road. You can, if you're observant, you can see the changes materialize right in front of you in any present moment. So, our goal for these experiences and all experiences that we strive to create through consciousness ascending is to accelerate your becoming, support you in accelerating your becoming, becoming the person you are, free of all that conflicts with your full free expression, the full free expression of your truth in source, the conditioning, the programming. As you strive and play and practice with releasing the conditioning, the programming, the truth of you begins to shine through a little bit more, a little bit more. And in that same vein, the potentials that lie in front of you begin to reveal themselves. The plan that you set for yourself, that which you are inspired to be, do, and have, becomes more clear as you remove the conditioning, remove the programming. That in itself alone could be your highest priority because it reveals the true you, which is not the you that you are accustomed to being and experiencing at the moment. The structure for these experiences is that simply we will give a discussion on the topic, and then we will open and spend a few moments answering questions from the chat. If you are new, if this is your first experience, if you find value, be sure to subscribe so that you are aware of other videos and other opportunities to connect and participate in the experiences like this video. It helps spread across the platform. Comment if you are inspired to greater awareness. Comment, not just comment and say, "Yay, I've had a great time," but put your expansion in the comments so that others can expand as a result of your expansion. That's powerful. And not only that, the small action of typing out the comment solidifies that new idea deeper within just because you took that slight action. So if you find value, if you are moved to greater expanded awareness, throw it in the comments for us and for you. If you're not new, if this is not your first time, same thing, comment, like, share. Feel free to share these videos to your channels, whether you have videos on there or not. Be sure to feel free to share these videos on your channels. That also helps with the expanding of these type experiences across the platform. Once this is over, be sure to check the description. In the description, you will find free presentations that we have created in support of you. First, being the greatest misconceptions. There are three greatest misconceptions that we have identified that many of you on this path of growth, expansion, this journey of enlightenment are not privy to. So we created a presentation, a short presentation of the three greatest misconceptions. Second are the three attention shifts. There are many veins of information that you can go down on this journey, but many of them are merely information. Many expand your awareness, yes, but not to the degree that you would like to affect your personal life experience right now. So it is our suggestion that yes, you can go down those veins, you can play with the information. Very interesting. But if you're about the play and practice of transformation, inner transformation that directly affects your experience and the experiences that you're creating around you, you have to make sure that you have made these three attention shifts. If you haven't made these three attention shifts, you're not working at your foundation. You're not working at your core, and you're not working at the accelerated pace that you could be. So if you're not familiar with this and you're not sure, be sure to check out the three attention shifts that you must make. Um, yeah, our topic today is self mastery is still the goal. Timeless writings still bring life. Let's talk about it. Self mastery is still the goal. Self mastery is still the goal. It's been written all over your planet, all down through history. It's been spoken of in and through all systems of thought, religious, spiritual, in your business areas, in your sports, in your athletics, in your entertainment. It's the same idea communicated in different ways based on the area in which it's being considered, but it's the same thing. If you want to be elite, if you want to create brilliance in your life, you have to expand as an individual. You have to become a higher, more expansive, more vibrant version of yourself than you have been. And this is where we get the idea of self mastery. You're mastering yourself. And in every area of life, this process is the same. Whether you're talking about, well, the area of your journey of enlightenment encompasses all areas. For you have to expand in order to create the relationship that you desire, the marriage that you desire, the parental relationship that you desire, the success in your career or your business. If you're an athlete, to create success in that arena. If you're an entertainer, no matter what it is in your health and well-being, you have to grow, you have to expand, you have to master your inner faculties in order to become the being who is excellent in those areas. And all of that is within the spectrum of becoming more enlightened. For everything is a part of your spiritual journey. If you want to say spiritual, everything is a part of your expanding and growing into the understanding of the truth of you. Everything is inside of that vein. But when you get specific in different parts of areas of life, you have to grow, you have to expand, you have to become more in order to create the experience that you desire. So it doesn't matter what area of life that you're talking about, self mastery, the timeless wisdom understanding that mastery of the self should be first priority hasn't changed. Thousands and thousands of years, it hasn't changed. From being a warrior in olden times, a soldier, a conqueror, a king, a great musician, a great magician, all of these things have required those individuals to become more, to grow, to expand. And this journey of enlightenment, if that's your focus, is no different. Now, what are you finding? In this journey of enlightenment, you're going to begin to realize your potential to create, your potential to establish experience, your potential to be the catalyst for experience. You're going to begin to recognize and realize that your thoughts and the dominant ideas that source those thoughts or the precursors to experience. You're going to begin to recognize and realize that how you feel, your dominant vibrational frequency expressions are the precursors to your experience. It's the combination of the two. It's the one and the other. This is what you're ultimately going to find along this path, this journey of enlightenment. And as you begin to whittle down the understanding of each of these particular faculties within the inner creative process, and you begin the play and practice of mastering them, how? Not necessarily by looking at them individually, but by being more intentional. Understand that being intentional activates the entire creative process. When you say, I want this, I want to create that, this is what I desire, well, you activate the mind in that direction, you activate your thought patterns in that direction, you begin to activate, create, and unveil the dominant ideas that exist and that don't exist. You may not have the dominant idea structure within your mind to create the experience. And you may have dominant ideas that conflict with the experience. Being intentional shines the light on that. Your vibrational expression, how you feel. Are you consistently in alignment vibrationally in the colors and the hues that you are expressing that align you with the experience? Where if you're intending something that feels good, that feels like a win, that feels like success, but that feeling that you feel right now, based on our words, is not your normal expression. You're normally in a lower, not sure things are going to work out, not really excited, not happy, bills are coming, work wasn't great today and it's normally not. If you're in that type of feeling where you're not in alignment with the success that you see, you're not in alignment with the beauty that you see, you're not in alignment with the relationships that you see, you're not in alignment with the connection with your children that you see, you're definitely not in alignment with the abundance that you see because of how you normally feel. And all of these are activated when you set and have an intention. You see where you are in alignment to a degree. You see where you are completely out of alignment. And that earmarks the places that you need to begin to focus on in order to begin to create the experiences that you want. And that's powerful. Because if you weren't being intentional, you would not realize these things. And these, we're sure you understand the idea of intention. If you're here open to this communication, you understand the idea of intention, but do you really understand the depth of being intentional and what it means, what it does to you on the inside, what it reveals on the inside? And understanding that this understanding is surface as well, because the truth of you does not exist in the dominant ideas that you are at this moment expressing. The dominant ideas that you are expressing are a part of the mind, are understood by the body, but you are neither. You have a mind, you have a body, you are neither. In your true mind, the mind of source, your true ideas, the beliefs, the understandings, the truths in source are the real you, in which you do not hesitate, in which there is no fear, no doubt, in which you are not concerned with the outcomes of things, whether you have an intention or not, because you know at your core that all exists now, that everything is provided for, that everything is taken care of, and that there is no other reality other than what you choose to believe. Doesn't matter what your parents believe, doesn't matter what your spouse or partner believes, doesn't matter what your government does. It only matters what you believe. And this is the understanding that you know in the truth of you and source, but it's a progression. Self mastery is a progression of working inwards. Yes, you have an intention. You have life experiences that you desire, and you're working your way back. Okay, my ideas are out of whack. They do not align me with my desires. How I consistently feel is all out of whack. It doesn't align me with what I desire. And as you continue, as you begin to play and practice of working with those ideas, working with your vibration, how you feel, your frequency, your consistent frequency expression. As you begin to work with these things because you have the intention of a life that you desire to create, you begin to realize and it begins to click in more and more that the reason you can work on these things, the reason you can change these things, the reason you can see and observe your thoughts and know that they are not aligning you, the reason you can see and observe how you feel and know that it's not in alignment with the life you desire to create is because they are not you. If they were you, you could not see them. You could not perceive them. You could not be aware of them because there wouldn't be any separation between the essence of you and them. But because they are not you, the essence of you can perceive them. So this is where you must play as you intend to create on this plane of existence. This is where you must play. But self mastery brings in and begins to allow in the awareness that not even these ideas that you were once a servant to and the ideas that you are choosing to establish as new and recreate yourself, none of them are you. But it's a process to move through. And as you move through this process, your awareness expands. The potential, your potentials expand and become more and more realized. The life experiences you desire become more and more possible and more real because you begin to see more and more how you are created, how often things happen quickly when you engage the inner creative process, when you engage the creative process correctly, having an intention, being as clear as you can on the image, aligning yourself in the feeling of it, or at the least, and maybe the most powerful, just leaving it be and not trying to align yourself at all. Just knowing that you are in alignment with it and that you're not offering any resistance. Then, how do you refrain from offering resistance? You do that by not having any concern for whether it materializes or not. By not caring whether your desired intention materializes or not, you are not offering any resistance. But if you really, really, really need it, you're probably offering the idea and the feeling of the absence of the thing. If you really, really need something, you're really saying you don't have it. And then you're saying you don't have it, you are offering that as an expression and you are in conflict with what you desire. The truth of you and source knows that it is everything. The truth of you and source knows everything is available now. The truth of you and source knows that you are not separate from anything or anyone. And so in that space, you are not needing of anything. You understand that if you have an intention and you intend it and you are clear on it, that it will be materialized, just as your entire life has operated along this same path. So there's no care. So there's no worry. So there's no doubt. There's no expression of resistance. There's just the allowing of the unfolding. And in the allowing of the unfolding and the observing of the unfolding with wonder and with appreciation, you're not offering any resistance to it. in knowing that you're taken care of with or without it, you're not offering any resistance to it. And therefore, you are freely capable of being the thing from the inside out, and it is able to materialize with perfect timing in and of itself through the collaborative components required to bring it into fruition. But self mastery starts the process. Self mastery initiates the process. Self mastery, the play and practice of self mastery, is the prerequisite to all of this. For the more you play and practice with becoming more masterful at choosing your states of being, you open the door to this understanding, this information that we speak of, not coming from us, but coming up through you. And as this information, this understanding comes up through you, it's way more powerful. It's way more solid. It anchors and it roots within your being. It's like having that aha moment that cannot be taken away, that you cannot be swayed from because you know it, because you have proven it to yourself. And because you have proven it to yourself, someone or something who has never had the experience that you have can't take it. So continue along the path. Continue along the path of mastering the self. Understanding that the deeper you go, the more your awareness will expand, the more your truth will be revealed, and the knowledge and the understanding and the potentials that you continue to stack on top of each other as a result of your play and practice of mastering the self only strengthens you. And this is not an incremental strengthening that will take a lifetime to understand and to materialize. These things happen exponentially. And sometimes it may seem like things are just moving along and not a lot is happening, and then all of a sudden, poof, you know, there are things that you know. There are things that you completely understand and that you're able to begin to apply to your life, that you're able to begin to apply to your expressions. And then you may go for a few weeks, a few months. Doesn't seem like much is happening, but you have expanded and you're living and expressing from that expanded awareness, and then poof, it happens again. There are things that you all of a sudden just know, and you allow it to continue to stack. But the process of mastering the self is what allows this. The continuous, the consistent play and practice of mastering the self is what opens the door to these things. And it doesn't take long for you to take the driver's seat of your life when you're consistently about the play and practice. Now, if you're in and out of it, if it's not a priority, then it can take a while. But if you make it a priority, the play and practice, then over what you call time, you will see happenings occurring and you will grow in your knowing, not just knowledge, but in your knowing at a much more accelerated rate. And this is one of the reasons why we established the Ascension Accelerator, the private community, because it is, in a sense, an incubator for this process. For those of you who are on this path, understand that you can't get off this path, right? You're at a certain place in your personal, individual evolution, and you can't get off this path. You can't just stop and say, I don't want to do this anymore. You can't do that because the lifetimes that you have experienced up until this point have placed you here. And so, if this process of mastering the self is a priority, this is why the private community was established to really accelerate the process. and to not have to do it alone. But this is where we are. This is the practice. This is the play. This is the journey. This is the path that you are on, whether you realize it or not. And these are just a few of the things that you need to understand. Mastery of the self has been around for ages, and it will continue to be around because it is the core, it is at the core of the journey of enlightenment. It is at the core of your being able to create in harmony with that which you are inspired to create. And with that being said, we'll look to the chat for your questions and your comments. Mm-hmm. Hey, Madeline. Awesome. Let's, I found when I say I intend to see this from a higher perspective, it causes a shift towards whatever I'm struggling with. Yes, yes. Because when you choose to look at things, your challenges, growth that you're engaged in, transformation that you were trying to create inwardly, when you say you want to look at it from a higher perspective and say you're in your a meditative state, which is a beautiful place to be when you're looking to address conflict or make transformations, make changes to the self. When you say you want to look at it from a higher perspective, that requires a higher frequency. To get yourself into a higher frequency, what have you done? You are in a different vibrational state than the problem, than the challenge, than any ideas that are in conflict with what you're intending. And so, being in that higher frequency, higher vibrational state, you're able to see differently. You're going to perceive those ideas differently. They're going to be interpreted differently. You can begin to glean any knowledge, information that will support you versus just being angry at it, versus just being frustrated about it. Now you're in a place to foster and to be the catalyst to growth and expansion from those ideas. And you're right, Catherine, it doesn't take long to move into a higher vibrational space. Once you're aware that you can do it, even in the midst of a frustrating circumstance, an angry experience, right? It may not happen immediately, but if you continue to repetition to yourself, I am in a higher space, higher space. I am in a higher space. I intend to be in a higher space. I intend to be in a higher vibration than this challenge, than this problem. I intend to be in a higher vibrational space so that I can perceive that which is conflicting with what I actually intend in the most powerful fashion. You making the command will take you there. So many don't realize that their command, their ability to command the self, to speak to the self with authority and love, can change things very quickly. But you haven't been conditioned to be authoritative, right? You've been conditioned that that's bad, that that's wrong. And yet you go to work structures, you go to religious structures, even in your families, you have authority structures, and you still say that authority is wrong, bad, it doesn't feel good. We don't like people who are in authority. They take advantage of people. All of these low vibrational ideas are around the idea of being an authority, of being a king, of being a queen, of being royalty, of being majesty, being majestic, of being excellent, of being brilliant, of being a leader of yourself, of your own life. There's so many negative ideas and negative connotations around it that you even shy away from being an authority of yourself, of those areas of you that are your tools, mind and body. You can be an authority and being loving and be loving at the same time. You can be powerful and be loving at the same time. There is a beautiful mix of vibrational frequencies of love and power, love and strength that you can express. First to yourself when you're playing to make transformation, because the mind understands this system. So if you speak to your mind and body in a tone that is has less strength and authority than the ideas that are already present, then your efforts to make transformations is going to be slow and incremental. But if you speak with a knowing and a certainty and a level of authority and beauty as you intend these transformations to be made quickly, to be made now, then the mind and body will respond because it's been conditioned to that type of language and communication for generations. Right? You go back as far as you want to in your recorded history and you see organizations set up with power structure. And all of you have seen the movies where understand what the voice, the sound of the authority sounds like versus those who have lesser perceived power. Be strong, be authoritative, be loving simultaneously when you communicate to yourself and when you express outwardly, because in truth, for your life experience as an individual, there is only you. And the stronger you're able to express yourself, and the more beautiful and the more loving simultaneously you're able to express yourself, the stronger and the more beautiful your constructs will be. And the stronger and more beautiful your mental constructs are, and your vibrational alignment is, the stronger and more beautiful your manifest experiences will be. These are value issues. These are value challenges, self worth challenges. This is not knowing who and what you truly are. This is believing in the things outside of you as more true and more worthy than you are. When the truth is, this is all misinterpretation. This is all misbelieving, misteaching that has been taught to you, right? It's been passed down through families. Powerful families teach and imply power. Families who believe themselves being led by individuals who believe themselves to be of low value pass along low value ideas. And this is all misinterpretation of the truth. This is all misunderstanding. The truth is that it's only you. It's only you. Everything else that shows up in your experience is a collaborative component of you, just as you are a collaborative component of them. But don't worry about that. Focus on you. Focus on your expressions. Focus on your beliefs. That should be the priority. Thank you for that, Catherine. Awesome. Awesome. Anyone else have a question, comment? Awesome. Awesome, Catherine. Keep going. Keep going. Keep walking the path. The stronger you get, the more potentials, the more your potentials, the more your possibilities, the more that which you're inspired to create becomes more and more possible, more and more real, the less distance you see between that which you desire, the less distance you feel between that which you desire. Right? 6 months ago, a year ago, something that you didn't believe was possible for you now is more possible. Now you're capable of beginning to make the phone calls if you're in business. Now you're capable of seeing the clients coming in. Now you are capable of seeing yourself in the relationship. Now you are more capable of seeing yourself having beautiful conversations with your children, your spouse, your partner, your brother or sister that you have had this anger thing or this misunderstanding thing between you for years. You begin to see it as possible. You begin to be able to establish yourself in the feeling and dictating your alignment, dictating what you intend to believe more and more as you walk this path and you prove these things, the truth of you to yourself. Excellent. Anything else? Anyone else? All righty. All right. So if you are here live and if you have found your way to us and us to you, and you are watching this recording and you are here at the end, we're excited for you. We're very excited for you. And we love you very much. Check the description, check out the free presentations, connect with us. There's more going on than what you see here on this YouTube platform. Connect with us, see what other opportunities there are to connect, more powerful opportunities to connect. And we will talk to you soon. We will be back. This is Monday, and we will be back Wednesday, same time. Thank you very much.